So welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. We just got back from our 10-week trip. You haven't seen any of the vlogs yet because they're all literally sitting on these cards right here and the card that's still in this camera. So much footage that I took. We did a week in Panama, a week in Ohio where I grew up, 3 days in Singapore, and then we spent a lot of time in Indonesia. We did a week in Java, another week in Bali, a few days in Nusa Penida, a few days in the Komodo Islands, then like 10 days in Lombok, another week in Bali, then 3 days in Tokyo, Japan, 10 days in Hawaii on the island of Maui, and we just flew back 2 days ago on Saturday. When you're traveling like that, it's so hard to get into a routine and every day looking so different. And there's so much to see. Like if you have any sort of FOMO, you just want to do what's there because who knows if you'll be back to that place ever again. And why do you want to sit inside and do work, which is also why I got like no work done. Handful of client projects I was working on and did not get as much done as expected. At one point, I think it was in Lombok, I was feeling kind of out of sorts and I really wanted to feel more grounded. So I ended up getting this goal planner. It asks you specific questions. For example, right here, start your day off right. And you begin with self-reflection, like how you're feeling, you're grateful for, your goal for today. And then you list 3 tasks, you list 3 wellness things you want to do for the day. And then at the end, you put the highlights and rate your day. And then you can also put your entire agenda. And I liked this part because it gave you an open space on each day that you can just kind of write and get your ideas out. I think it's really important, especially if you don't journal, that you have somewhere to get your ideas out. I found this really helpful for myself. Instead of writing little to-do lists on my phone or just on little like post-its, to have a book where I can write my ideas and get them down on paper where I don't have to be so busy in my head. Something that I've tried to do a lot more of. Today, my feeling was behind, which is a bummer. I don't like to feel behind, but I find myself feeling behind all too often. It's something that I want to work on a lot. And I just have to remind myself that like the projects will continue coming. There's never going to be like an ending point where I've reached what I want to finish and then it's done. Like things will just continue. To feel behind is kind of wasted energy. So that's something I want to work on. But then the second question is feeling grateful for something. So important to always feel grateful for at least some tiny thing in your life because there's always something to be grateful for, even if everything is not going well. So we are officially into December and it feels like Christmas season has just come down upon me. When I was in the tropics, it doesn't feel so much like Christmas season because there's no snow or anything. And here it's been snowing all weekend, which is wild. We went skiing yesterday for the first time and I'm really excited for ski season to start. The whole personality of this house, my husband is a pro skier and you can see all of his clothes that his sponsors sent him. He just has them laying everywhere. He's trying to decide what to wear this year and what backpack to have. Like this is the start of his basically job. He's kind of in his off season before this. So now like everything starts, he's busier. And for me, like I ski a lot, but I also have work to do on the side. So I can't make skiing my whole personality because it's just a hobby. I know this sounds like a ridiculous problem to have. There's just a lot going on in the winter. And since it's Christmas season, that kind of triples everything. I haven't even thought about gifts hardly at all yet. And then I like made my little to-do list. Usually during Christmas, I like to get out more products and new products for the winter. That's what I've done the past few seasons. I usually start designing them in Hawaii. We usually go to Hawaii in November and I'll start designing them and then I'll release them in December. This time in Hawaii, we had our parents with us. So it was like a full parents trip and I got absolutely nothing done. So I'm starting from scratch kind of. And I also don't just want to make things just to make things and release them. I want to make stuff that I'm really proud of. Like I want to be excited about stuff that I make. I don't just want to put out artwork. And so that's a huge thing for me, especially in this coming year. I want to do a future video about like my vision board for the coming year, but I think it's too soon to do that. I really want to focus on December and not really do my 2024 vision board yet. I think I'll do that maybe the last week of this month. And you guys can do it with me. I love creating vision boards. I do it on Pinterest. Well, I actually do it in paper first and then I put it on Pinterest. And so fun at the end of the year to see if you've accomplished the stuff from the previous year. I have a vision board from this year that I'll go over and then see what I did. Definitely want to make these vlogs more consistent. Since we were traveling so much this year, all of my vlogs were pretty much travel vlogs, but it's really hard to keep up with all the vlogging while traveling, even though I have someone also helping me do it, but it's taking more time than I expected. So I'm gonna have to do some editing on the side as well with these weekly vlogs because I really wanna put out weekly vlogs. I want to put out vlogs that are skiing related. So showing the outfits and the gear that I used when I go out skiing, because I think it's super fun to see what people wear. And also since I went to school for fashion, like I've always been interested in the fashion industry and how people are expressing themselves with what clothes they wear. And I found that in Jackson, a lot of people don't really express themselves with the clothing they wear. It's a lot of like earth tones and very basic technical wear, which is understandable. Like the technical stuff hasn't been as cute as the non-technical stuff in the past. And what I mean by that is like technical stuff would be stuff that keeps you layered and warmer, and like you have a shell, then you have a puffy, then you have like a wool base layer, stuff that's more suited to the environment. And non-technical would be like just wearing a heavy, cute coat to ski. Like it looks good, but you might sweat underneath, so it's not very practical. I haven't found a lot of companies that have done both together really well. So I'm trying to find companies that are doing kind of technical wear that's really cute and then show those off in future vlogs. So I'm very excited to do that. I've been getting in touch with some companies, so hopefully I can work with a few companies that just to show you guys what will be cute to wear and give you guys some ideas, because sometimes it's really hard to figure out what new outfit to wear, and I want you guys to look awesome on the slopes if you're skiing. Last, I want to touch on some things that were very helpful while we were traveling, some travel hacks, if you will. This stuff just makes traveling so much easier. It's really nice these days because Wi-Fi is everywhere and very prevalent, but if you have like a few apps that I used and a few different things, it's really helpful. So I'll just roll with a few of them. First one is my phone plan is Google Fi. I switched from Verizon to Google Fi earlier this year, and it's been so amazing. A year ago, we traveled to Sri Lanka, Egypt, and Greece. Aurelo, the eSIM in Greece, I did a SIM card in Egypt, and then I think I did another SIM card in Sri Lanka. But when you use a SIM card, you have to use you can't use your number like to get regular texts. You can only do whatever goes over data. So that's kind of annoying. You can't get normal phone calls, I don't think. And Aurelo, I had some like glitchy things with it, like the eSIM. My husband used it this trip, and it was like kind of glitchy for him too. At one point, the data just like went to zero, even though he hadn't been using his phone. And before, when I tried to use it in Paris one time, it just wouldn't turn on, even though I'd like bought the full thing. So it's just a little glitchy, but I got Google Fi because they have this part of their plan where you can downgrade it while you're in the US, but when you travel abroad, you can pay $15 more a month, and it works in every country. So no matter where you have a layover, this is like starting to sound like an ad, but it's not. But no matter where you have a layover, like it works. Your phone just works like normal almost everywhere in the world. I haven't come to a country yet that it hasn't worked. So helpful because it's unlimited data and it's everywhere in the world. Like it's amazing, honestly. Definitely have Google Translate on your phone because you can use the camera function on it, and you press the camera and then you hold your phone up to something that's in a different language and it will translate it on your phone for you. Super epic. I use Globe Convert for currency exchange, and right now it's doing yen to dollars because we were just in Japan. While we were in Indo, we used Gojek and Grab, kind of like the replacements of Uber or Lyft, and they're so cheap to take transportation and get delivery. We were getting delivery all the time. I used Grab the whole time to get delivery. It was so inexpensive. It was crazy. And then a lot of people told me to use Traveloka as a way to book things, kind of like their booking.com-esque type stuff. But I really just used like Booking and the normal ones I use in the States instead of Traveloka because it was just as easy, honestly. Almost everywhere took the USB cord for charging, but also nice to have like the European one with the two prongs. That was really helpful as well. Or a lot of places took the American plug, even if they took the foreign plug too. And then for carrying stuff, my husband and I, we each brought one big backpack and one small backpack, which I thought was gonna work really well, like a big backpack on back and just like carry my small backpack. And then I also had like a little fanny pack, but it was too much. I don't think I overpacked for 2.5 months, but somehow it got really heavy. And so maybe I did overpack. I've been anti-roller bag for a really long time, but I don't think I'm anti-roller bag anymore, because even if it is uneven surface, just having the option of the rollers is really nice. So ideally, I want a bag that is a backpack with wheels so I can wheel it whenever I want. So if anybody has one of those that they really love, please let me know, because I need that bag ASAP. And the last thing I would say is I like to download books on my phone using Hoopla, this app. You can, if you have a library card, you can sign up on Hoopla with your library card, and then it's just free to download like a certain amount of books a month, and I never run out. And it's great because you can listen to audio books on there or read books. So that's what I use the whole time during traveling. And I download my audiobooks before my flights, if I remember, have books downloaded for the beach or something like that. So that is how I entertain myself. I think I'll stop there, because if you have any more questions, put them in the comments, but I don't want to go super deep into this. Maybe I will write a blog. Let me know if you'd rather see all this info on a blog. I really have to get to work now. Oh, one last thing. This morning, coffee talk. I am drinking Snake River Roasting Ethiopia coffee. I love anything Ethiopia when it comes to coffee, because it's a more like light, florally, fruity taste than your typical darker roast. Last year for Snake River Roasting, I did a coffee label every quarter, and it was really fun to see them come out because they did this specialty blend for each bag. So this winter, we wanted to do a coffee label that represented, last year I did a girl skier, so Owen was like, let's do a guy skier, and you can use one of my jumps. So we came up with a couple designs, and then we're gonna kind of crowdsource some additional information of what people on his Instagram would like to see. Initial quick peek, nobody's seen these yet. Once we show them the initial look, he's gonna ask his audience a few questions, then people can get what they want, and it'll be sitting on their counter and they can drink it. So this is what it's looking like right now, which I think will be really cute. They have these like really cute bags, and then the label is like a sticker. So it'll either be this blue sky or there. So that's more of like a sunset look, or the blue sky. And then you can see the Scandi. This was a quick drawing. It's not done yet, but either that or a tram. And then the bases of his skis will ask the color too. So I think, yeah, I don't know, but we're gonna see what the people say and give them what they want. Hey Google, play 2023 Christmas music. Longing for the holiday, counting days until you're here. I've been waiting this whole year. I kind of love this cloud right here. We are on our hot girl walk, which has turned into a very cold girl walk, very cold, icy girl walk. Prior to leaving for the fall, I can't really hear myself. I was listening to a podcast. Oh, great podcast, by the way. The girl getting interviewed is has the brand La Double J out of Milan, Italy, and it is such a cute brand. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out, because I just found it recently and I love it. Before we left for our trip, it was still warm out, and so I was doing my hikes like back up here in the forest, because I can go out my back door and go straight up to the forest. But now the forest gets too snowy, so I can't go on those trails. So I had to go on the road, which is actually fine because nobody drives up this road. The condos behind me built like this tunnel, and since they built it, they don't want anybody else using it, so they lock their gate off at the end. So all of us with these houses right here have to go one way, this way. Kind of weird, but I guess whoever has the most money wins. I don't think my bones are ready for this from being in the hot weather for so long. Oh my gosh, my nails and this coat. Can we just give a little appreciation? I got them done in Bali a couple weeks ago. They're like shimmery. Can we get a close up? They're gel, so they're like growing out a little bit. And somehow my beanie matches too. Anyway, a look at what's to come for this winter, because ski fashion is one of my favorite things to put together ever, especially being in this town where, like I said, there is a lot of earth tones and not much pizzazz going on. I like to bring something a little bit different, and I'm hoping this winter to do that even more. So yeah, for the vlog, I definitely want to show ski fashion and all that stuff, and also kind of the behind the scenes of being married to a pro skier, because I think that's pretty interesting. There's a lot of content online about just people who ski, or, you know, ski bumming, or just living in a ski town, but getting the behind the scenes of what like the pro skiers are actually up to. I want to do my art content, of course, which is my work in general. So doing like what paintings I'm working on. I really want to do a lot of abstract art this winter. Kind of what I was doing over the summer was like more abstract than I used to do. I used to do a lot of realistic stuff, and last winter I was doing a lot of ski art. But I want to do kind of more abstract stuff that fits into houses more easily. And I think art should be really an expression of like who I am, and I want the people, sorry, I'm like talking into my coat. I want the people that buy my art to like feel that essence and be into that, like an optimism, a happiness, colorful stuff. I think that I was really giving this some thought earlier a couple months ago. Like, I feel like TikTok has made so many people the same. Like, you get on there and everybody's wearing the same makeup. Everybody's telling you what to wear. And it's a lot of like beige and whites and blacks and grays. After a while, I was like, this is so boring. I stopped getting on TikTok because I was so bored with everyone looking the exact same and doing the exact same thing. It was just like not inspiring. So I'm hoping to bring kind of colors and more inspiration to the channel, because that's like what I do in the background. That's what I'm painting. That's my art I'm doing. And I might as well show it instead of just trying to follow along with the trends that I find pretty boring. So I'm excited to step out of that box. And then there will be a little bit of cooking content, because I love cooking, and just mountain content in general, like going out to ski. That's what I'm looking forward to doing the most. Ski content, art content, and then there will be travel stuff put in there once we decide. But right now, after getting home from all the travels, I'm just really excited to kind of do more at-home stuff and ski town vibes, which is my favorite. I love living in a winter wonderland, and I'm excited to show more of that behind the scenes and what else is happening.
Come adore on bended knee, Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo.